Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Roxy Borboa. Borboa was shot and killed on Wednesday, March 21st, 2012, near the intersection of Dakota Avenue and Gardendale Street in Southgate, according to LA County coroner records. Christian Calderon and Daniel Ernesto Cordero were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. On March 20th, 2012, victim Roxy Borboa arrived at CM Racing Shop in Southgate in a Toyota Camry driven by Jaime Torres, intending to fill a tank with nitrous oxide, which they planned to use to inhale. Also in the car were Jesse, Randy, and Ricardo. When they arrived at the shop, Torres stopped in an alley behind a black Ford Expedition. Defendants Calderon and Cordero got out of the Expedition, and Calderon approached the passenger side of the Camry and asked the group where they were from, a common gang challenge, and said this was his hood. When Torres and the group responded that they were not from anywhere, Calderon brandished a handgun with a laser sight. He activated the laser and rolled it over the occupants of the Camry and said, "I got a laser for you fools. What you got on my laser?" The occupants of the Camry persuaded defendant Calderon to put the gun away, whereupon defendant Cordero approached the driver's side, also carrying a gun, and asked the Camry passengers whether they had a problem with his homie or his neighborhood. He said he and defendant Calderon were from Aztlan, a street gang, and this was their neighborhood. He pressed his gun against Jesse's cheek and told him that if there was a problem, he would pull the trigger. Defendants Calderon and Cordero then stepped away from the Camry, and Torres accelerated quickly away. Calderon and Cordero both fired toward the retreating vehicle. Calderon's bullet struck the victim in the head, killing her. Cordero said dome shot and went into the shop to obtain a nitrous oxide tank. Police recovered two .45 caliber shell casings at the scene, which had been ejected from different guns. While in jail on another charge 11 months later, defendant Calderon told other inmates that he was from Aztlan and he had been gangbanging since he was 12 or 13, and his nickname was Malo, recounting an incident where he had confronted a group of people in a car and shot at the car as it drove away. He said, "I had my gun and my homie from the hood had his gun, and then these fools right here in the car try to act like they're gonna pop me. I'm right here on my zone, so once they're leaving, they didn't look like they were gonna spray me, but I was thinking, give it to me homie and see what you're gonna get back. I ran around the truck and I just put the laser on the car and I sprayed that shit. I didn't hit anybody, but I did hit the window." 13 months after the shooting, defendant Cordero told police that defendant Calderon and at least one of the people in the Camry had argued about gang stuff, and someone in the car yelled Florence as it drove away. Calderon then stood behind the car and just shot at them, and Cordero fired a shot only in the air for no reason. He did not shoot at the car and didn't want to hit anybody. At trial, several peace officers testified that defendants Cordero and Calderon were members of Aztlan. LA County Sheriff Detective Adam Torres testified as a gang expert, discussing gang culture, including the Aztlan gang. Detective Torres testified that Aztlan's primary activities were robbery, vehicle thefts, burglaries, drug sales, murder, assault with deadly weapons, and gun possessions. When posed with a hypothetical question mirroring the facts of this case, Torres stated that the crimes would benefit the gang. Following the trial, the jury found defendant Calderon guilty of first-degree murder and defendant Cordero guilty of second-degree murder. Each was also found guilty of 4 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 count of shooting at an occupied vehicle. The jury found true as to all the counts that the crimes were committed for the benefit of a criminal street gang and involved firearms. The court sentenced Calderon to a prison term of 89 years to life. It sentenced Cordero to a term of 79 years to life. Roxy Borboa was 16 years old at the time of death.